I've actually started to feel threatened for my life here.
I can't stand it anymore. My mental health is a wreck. I'm forced to do it. Hand over the recording. I don't want to do it, Bo. Just hand it over.
There is no recording.
Don't lie to me, Bo.
I haven't recorded the next episode yet, so I have no idea what happens next.
You better record it now. You have a week. Give me the recording, or else.
Hey guys, it's your Bo the Doggo, and welcome back to Winds of Change, whatever number this is, probably 19, but we don't have time. We are going to a ball. Pro fucking fucked everything up. Yeah. So yeah, go watch the other video if you haven't. I'm not gonna recap anything. Okay, very quick recap. So we got to Draco's castle. He knew who Vivian was. He decided that they will fight tomorrow. Ulrich announced that he will be champion for Vivian. Pro announced that he will be champion for Draco. And now Ulrich is mad at Pro. And I am sad because I don't want Pro to die. And Fortem seems to be becoming friend with Draco because they both like climbing. And now we are going to the ball. And also I made the choice to support Vivian. And Howl think I made the wrong choice. Now let's go to the ball. Oh, the ballroom. When I entered the ballroom, I noticed my comrades scattered about. They're all enjoying themselves and having the time of their lives. Draco spared no expense. This was fancier than anything I've ever seen. There's a live band playing music that's pleasant to the ear. Couples sway about the dance floor while others feast on a buffet. An open bar attracts many patrons. There's something for everyone here. My comrades notice me and give me a smile as they enjoy the party. As I'm about to step forward, somebody bumps into me from behind. It was clearly on purpose to grab my attention. I quickly turn around.
I hope you're prepared to fight, Monarch.
It's you.
You'll be among the soldiers during tomorrow's fight. Regardless of your allegiance, I'm excited to see your abilities.
Thank you, I have no experience.
I would be honored to know that you gave it your all. Either way, I thought it would be best to come meet you here. You're a guest in my castle, not a prisoner as it may have seemed. It's just tradition for challenges. They're mostly issued at the castle. It ensures that the people involved in the fight can't back out. We take these battles very seriously, as you could tell.
Yeah, I could tell. I nod. That much was clear.
I hope we haven't issued any offense.
No, not you personally, but we knew that this would happen. I'm mostly just worked up about Pro. Of course not, everything is fine. You can keep me here as long as you want. You can code it any way you want. We're still prisoners. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Let's move on. Let's be flirty with Draco because we are going to kill him tomorrow. So let's let his last night be flirtatious.
You're not the first to try to charm your way out of this.
Ah, fuck.
Backing out of a fight would be abandoning your honor. In Alarinthia, without honor, you have little else to show.
Yeah, but... Okay, yeah, this is another world, but I mean, in our world, it isn't like the 16th century anymore. Honor isn't that important anymore.
With that said, I have a ball to enjoy. If you'll excuse me, I have some subjects to appease. Hopefully it keeps them happy until next year's party.
He walks into the ballroom and is quickly crowded by people. Greeting every single one, he ensures that they're all happy. He's very charismatic. Everyone painting him as a savage man. That's what I was talking about like 2 episodes ago. Or was it last episode? Anyway, that the game is gonna present him as someone who is very gentle and a nice person and wants to be like, oh, this is our tradition, you shouldn't be la la la, and I'm a nice dude. I'm only doing this because this is our tradition. No offense to you. So it seems that that's what they're going for. I noticed Damek and Valessa standing off to the side. They don't seem overly interested in joining the party. I didn't get their input yet, so maybe I should approach them. I take a few steps forward, as not to block the entrance to the ballroom. The music gets louder, and the reverberation fills the grand room. The sight and sound combine to make an utterly beautiful experience. I try my best to enjoy this before retiring to my private quarters. When I was ready to sleep, and then fight, that's where I go. I couldn't delay forever, but I could occupy myself for a bit. Where is the live band? Should we, and Halin. Interesting. We haven't had a Halin thingy yet, right? Let's keep that to last. And first look around. I guess. Oh, the floor. The dance floor is full of people swaying from side to side. Watching them celebrate with big smiles helps me relax. Even in this awful time, there could still be happiness. Okay. Is that all? Okay. Oh, and this loyalty with both Valessa and Damek. Okay, let's go from top to bottom here and then do these two. Valessa and Ulrich.
Oh, this place is incredible. Draku sure knows how to throw a party. What about you, Ulrich? Having fun?
Draku was my enemy, Valessa. We're practically being held prisoner. Despite that, yeah, I'm having a good time.
I could tell, actually. How many drinks is that? 5? You don't want to fight with a hangover, do you?
It wouldn't be the first time. I've taught myself to fight in any state of being. Just something you learn to do when you're as old as I am.
And how old is that?
Old enough. Besides, I doubt I'll have much trouble tomorrow. Even if I fought Draku while drunk, I could take him down.
You sure?
So don't worry about my well-being. I've got this.
You better keep your word, Ulrich, because I'm holding you to this.
You can fight while you're drunk, too?
Of course. It actually makes things easier. Your movements are sloppy and unpredictable. That's all you need to confuse and overpower your opponent.
Though your reflexes are lowered.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's a pretty unique fighting style. You'll be sober tomorrow, though, right?
Depends on how tonight goes. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Just go and have a good time, alright?
Alright, if you say so. This is gonna be super interesting. 2 undefeated men, locked in combat.
Yeah, just leave Pro out of this.
Yeah, I'll make sure to put on a good show for you. It's like a sport. Everybody will be watching intently. You better cheer for me. I'll be listening, Valessa.
Sure.
And Damek and Pro. And I guess Damek is gonna question Pro now about his choice.
So, Pro, are you having a good time?
Oh, I guess not.
Of course. All according to plan. I know Ulrich is mad, but he'll get over it. We can win this without either of us dying.
I'm holding you boys to this.
Yeah, just take out the leader, right? Ulrich is stubborn though, so be careful. I think he might actually try to kill you.
Ooh, I won't let him.
I've been watching him spar for years. I'll be fine. I know exactly how he operates. The best weapon is knowledge, right?
You remembered my lessons.
How could I forget? It'll help me win this battle. I know it. Make sure to cheer me on, all right?
All right.
I think I'd like to remain silent, actually. I can't be taking sides at a time like this. As long as we get an alliance, I'm happy.
Oh, come on. Not even gonna clap for me. I'll remember that when you give another speech.
I think my days of giving speeches are over, Pro. That honor belongs to the monarch now. But I'm sure they'd say the same as me.
Man, I hate how neutral everybody is acting. Sometimes it's all right to take a side.
Well, it's not that I'm not taking a side. It's more like, I shouldn't gossip to you. You're a combatant. It'd affect your morale.
What an interesting way to tell me that you side with Ulrich. Sometimes not saying something tells me all I need to hear.
Now you're just putting words in my mouth. The only person I tell is the monarch.
And I don't even remember what you told me.
Interesting.
What?
You're not the first person to unconditionally trust the monarch. Perhaps I could use that to my advantage in the future.
Pro?
I think this is where I get back to the party. This whole scheming business isn't really for me, but I doubt the monarch would abuse their role for you.
You're probably right, Damek.
I would.
They'd have to do it without knowing. Just imagine the swindling I could do.
Pro, stop it. I need to... Can I see here? No, on the map. Can I see the map? I did a corruption. You allied yourself with Vivian in the Colosseum. Yes, that was a corruption, actually. Interesting. I guess that is how they want you to side with Dracu then. That putting Dracu as a purity, because maybe some people wanted to go for the purity thingy. And choosing Dracu would be purity, and then they were standing for a tough choice. Okay. Fortem and Howl.
Do we know how to throw parties or what?
Who do you mean by we?
Our people, like the pure ones. We're different civilizations, remember? Did the old monarchy party like this?
This line of questioning is pointless. Why do you wish to know such trivial information?
It's what friends do, Howl. Haven't you ever heard of hanging out? You just talk to each other about everything.
Well, the old monarchy did party. And to be honest, there isn't much difference. Do you see this as a sort of competition?
Not exactly. Well, maybe? It's always cool to know you have the most fun. Do you not compare yourself to other people?
No, I don't actually. Not really. Oh, Howl. I don't know, Howl probably doesn't, but I don't really do either.
That would be a waste of time. There is no benefit in being like other people. We simply wish to be ourselves. Unique.
I stand by Howl here.
See? This is what friends do. They just talk. Keep going, Howl. Tell me what's on your mind. You don't need a specific topic or anything.
We would ask, why you consider us a friend? Does the world benefit from this conversation? Is there a purpose to this sort of interaction? Perhaps we should talk about the matter at hand. There is much to discuss about Vivian and Dracu.
Nope, we can't talk about that. That's work stuff. We're here to unwind.
Another concept we do not understand. Every moment we waste, the enemy gets stronger.
It's not a waste, though. If our bond grows stronger, then so do we. It's important to get along with your comrades, Howl.
Very well. We will try. This party is an interesting experience. Are you having a good time, Fortame?
Are you having a good time, Fortame?
There we go. Now you're doing it right. Just a few more steps and you'll be ready to dance.
We would rather die.
Don't be such a party pooper. Oh my god. Okay, let's have some heart-to-heart with Valessa. I approach Valessa and watch her inspect the buffet table. It looks like she's having a hard time to decide what to eat. It's all free though, so I'd have something of everything.
Why do they need to put alcohol in everything? These pastries would be fine on their own, you know. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
She fills a plate with random sweets. It appears that they're all alcoholic in nature. That sounds fancy, but they're all just doused.
The locals are sure eating this stuff up, though. Call me old-fashioned, but food and drink should stay separate. If this is a delicacy around here, then Alarinthia isn't really my place.
She smiles as she continues filling her plate.
But you gotta eat, right? This isn't the kind of place you want to go hungry. I never thought I'd miss some of the food back in Valenworth. But enough about that. Are you having a good time, Monarch? Aside from the whole Colosseum business, of course.
Yeah, Dracu sure know how to throw a party. It's much better now that I am with you. I'd almost like to stay his prisoner forever. I can't believe Dracu's nerve, holding us here. It's alright, I suppose. No, I'm gonna say I'd almost like to stay his prisoner forever.
I see your quick wit doesn't cave under stress. That's good. We need some more optimism around here. If only that's all it took to win wars, though. We'd be set.
Yeah. She smiles softly while eating the pastries on her plate. It isn't much longer until they're all gone. She must have been starving. I don't blame her. The journey was taxing in every possible way.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I talked to Nada a little more on the way here.
Oh?
You know, to learn a little bit more about her parents. Part of me was hoping to hear something positive. You know, like they were paragons of virtue or something. Thought maybe, just maybe, they were good people.
As he talks, The live band starts to play a bit louder. People flood the dance floor with their partners. Valessa watches all of the couples with a wide smile. She places her empty plate back on the table.
Sorry, the music kind of cut me off. Right. I was talking about our parents. I learned so much about them on the trip here.
Care to tell me over a dance?
Wait, what? Monarch, I don't know how to dance. I just end up embarrassing the both of us.
Well, I don't know either, so let's go. I shake my head and grab her hand, slowly leading her to the dance floor. I take initiative. I tell her that nobody here really knows how to dance. It's just fun.
Fun? Well, don't say I didn't warn you. I'll be teasing us about this for years to come. I can endure some teasing for you, though.
Aww.
You're worth it.
Aww. Cute. She blushes, and I slowly guide our hands to the right position. One of my hands rests on her back, holding her close to my body. The other grips her hand and holds it outwards, our fingers intertwined. We sway side to side in time with the music, and she laughs, embarrassed. As if to hide the blushing on her face, she presses her head firmly against my body.
I guess this isn't so bad. So, you wanted to hear about our parents?
Yes. I nod as we continue to dance. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Looking at everybody else, I notice that they all display the same footwork. It's carefully calculated so nobody bumps into each other as they dance. I mimic that while I wait for Valessa to speak.
Just a quick warning, it's not the best atmosphere for this story. I mean, talking about pirates doesn't exactly fill one with joy, but I think it's important to know more about our families. Like I said, I was hoping to hear some good news. I always pictured our parents as these perfect, heroic people. But it turns out they really weren't. They were bad people, Monarch.
Oh no.
I know pirates get involved in shady things, but they embraced it. Killing, stealing, smuggling, you name it. They were legends in Mazeo. They had a whole network operating for them while they were back home.
Wow.
That's how they managed to have a presence in both nations at once. I went to Mazeo every month or so to inspect their operations in person. Explains how they managed to raise us and balance their double lives.
We continue to dance, and I listen intently. Her grip on my hand becomes tighter as the body moves closer, and confidence appears in her movements.
Maybe it's for the best that they passed on when they did. The village and Salus raised us. They gave us our sense of morals. I can't say I'd be too happy if I inherited the morals of our parents.
Probably not.
They could have dragged us into the life of piracy as we grew up, too. That would be dangerous. We could have died years ago, you know? If you died, then right now, the world would have no hope at all.
Oh no.
So, maybe the occupation was meant to happen. It's guided us to where we are now. Shaped us into who we've become. If we let them shape us, then I have no idea where we'd be right now.
Aww.
It's so weird, since children usually aspire to be like their parents. But right now, I'm using them as a roadmap on what not to do. All I can do is dedicate my life to being better people than them.
That's good, Valessa. Some people actually have to go through that, so that's good that you're dealing with it.
Maybe that can undo some of the damage they've done. Because I know they tore families apart. They killed and robbed. Some would say that, in the end, being murdered was their justice.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, actually.
But I don't think death is a good form of justice. They should have gotten a chance to make up for their crimes. With them gone, I feel like it's our job to do what they couldn't.
Yeah.
So, that's something else I'm going to fight for. I'll make up for the damage our parents inflicted. I'll give the world peace, so no one has to feel pain. We'll make a world that doesn't need people like our parents. A world that treats everyone with unconditional love and equality. No one will have to live in poverty or turn to a life of crime. Nobody deserves to be a victim of circumstance. To have their life determined by the world around them? No, it's not it at all. We shape the world.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
No. She pulls her head back and looks up in my eyes as we sway.
So let's shape it into something beautiful. A place where no one has to resort to being evil. I'm sure our parents were introduced to it somehow.
Aww.
It's not like they woke up one day just wanting to be pirates. Maybe it was their parents before them, or some close friends. I guess it doesn't matter, does it? We'll make the cycle end with us.
Yes.
And we'll start a new cycle. One of peace, happiness, and prosperity. One where our children can live full, happy lives.
Maybe then choosing Nada wasn't the best of choices. I smile at her and dip her low as the music comes to an end. I hold her in that pose for as long as I can, enjoying the sense of togetherness. Shortly after, I raise her back up and we leave the dance floor amongst the crowd.
When we get back to Museo, I want to see their old hideout. And I'd really like it if you'd come with me, Monarch. It'll give me a sense of closure. And let me move on.
Will that be our loyalty thingy?
I never thought I'd learn more about our parents in this journey. And I'm even more surprised that it's a truth I never expected. But if I could go back and never learn it, well, I wouldn't.
Good choice.
It gives me the drive to become a better person. And it really makes me appreciate everything I have. Including you, Monarch.
Aww.
I could never do this alone.
You are a good friend, Vanessa. She grabs both of my hands and looks deep into my eyes.
Thank you for asking me to dance, by the way. I guess Draku's Grand Ball is a good spot for a first date. But maybe next time, we can go somewhere with better food.
Oh, did this turn into a date? That wasn't what I was going for. Oops! She smiles and then runs off, doing her own thing. I'm sure almost everybody saw us dance. There was no hiding it. But I'm glad that we did. I want to be with her, no matter the circumstances. Okay, I probably took this too far. Vanessa's loyalty scene has been unlocked. It will be available after completion of Act 4. Loyalty scenes can be initiated from the Rebel HQ war table. Cool. Okay, then it's Damek. Damek loyalty heart-to-heart thingy-thong. I walk over to Damek as he stands alone in the corner of the ballroom. Should we dance? He looks a bit awkward, like he doesn't know how to fit in. But I don't blame him. With the story he told me last time, I knew a crowded ballroom floor would frighten him. Is there like a balcony we can go out on?
Hey there, Monarch. I hope you're having a good time. I mean, given the circumstances, of course.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's hard to have fun when you know what's coming. Actually, forget I said that. I don't want to ruin your experience. I'm just airing my own grievances. Forgive my venting.
I tell him it's fine and then stand beside him. Together, we watch the patrons dance in the center of the room. They look like they're having the time of their lives, while we just stand here.
You know, I've been thinking. I faced death back in Museo and I'll face it tomorrow. After that, I'll just go on to face it again when we attack Balteus.
Yeah.
I could die tomorrow, or the next day, or the day after. So I keep asking myself, what should I do before I die? A lot comes to mind, but a few are very important to me. I want to go back to where it happened, Monarch. Back to the place where I spent the last moments with my mother. I've never been back there since I grabbed that pendant. I was scared.
Do you want to go back there and hold a hand with me?
Just thinking about that place made it seem like it was happening all over again. I can't even imagine what would happen if I went back there for real, you know? It's easy to avoid since the town square is quite large, but I'm done avoiding things. I could have died back in those tunnels, Monarch. Something like that really puts things into perspective. If I die, I want to make sure I've lived life to the fullest. So that means there's a few things I'd like to do. Most importantly, I'd like to go back to where I lost my mother. I don't want that place to hold power over me. I want the power.
Good idea.
You already know about some of my other fears too. But it'd be ill-mannered of me to request your help for those. So, about Museo, I'd just like a good friend to be by my side.
I will. He blushes and shuffles in place. It was clear that he meant his fear of physical contact. I could help him with his Museo trip, but I stopped to think about the rest.
Can you say something, Monarch? I don't know if I can handle such an awkward silence.
Of course, I'll help you once we get back to Museo. Don't worry, Damek. I will put all of your fears to rest. I enjoy every moment we spend together, even the silent ones. I'd say the last one. I enjoy every moment we spend together, even the silent ones.
Well, then I'll stop trying to fill the gap so much. But I'd expect a lot of silence if you help me out in Museo. Once I go back to that spot, I have no idea how I'll react.
He smiles, almost like a weight was lifted from his shoulders. It would be important for him to enter the final battle with a clear mind. When we got back to the mainland, there was no reason not to help him.
Well, that's pretty much all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing, unless there's anything else you had to say before you go.
Would you consider being my date for the evening?
Oh, really? Did my talk about seizing the day inspire you? I mean, I guess I could keep you company. I don't have any other plans. And just in case it goes badly tomorrow, you deserve a really good night.
I mean, if I already went on a date with Valles, I could as well go with one with Damek as well. He smiles as we walk around the ballroom together. We stop at the buffet table and inspect our potential options.
Alarinthian pastries? Are these any good? If you're seizing the day, then I guess I should too.
He grabs one of them and starts to eat it. After a few bites, he starts to cough, and his eyes open wide. He wipes away crumbs that fall on his attire and blushes embarrassed.
Of course they're infused with alcohol. Somehow. Everything in this nation has some sort of a twist to it. You can never just get what you want in Alarinthia. Well, unless of course I'm talking about you. A fine place to have our first date, despite the circumstances. When you forget about the Colosseum nonsense, this isn't too bad.
That was sweet.
If things go well, then maybe we can come back next year. People do that stuff, right? I mean, celebrate anniversaries.
Aww.
When you take the throne, you can travel wherever you want. And I'd be honored if you let me stand by your side. You know, I was always too scared to flirt or bond with anybody. But I guess a changed perspective is one benefit of a near-death experience.
Damek, if Pro dies tomorrow, you will be my new main squeeze.
If you could even call it near, I'm pretty sure I did die. And if you want to know what scared me the most, nothing happened. When I was younger, they said I'd see my mother again in the afterlife.
Aww.
That's kind of what kept me going. That thought made me happy. In fact, I even smiled in my final moments. I'd finally see her again. The world is a cruel place, though. And of course, nothing happened.
Aww.
Until I opened my eyes again and saw you and Howl. That changed something inside of me. My priorities shifted. The thought of seeing my mother again had completely disappeared. If I chased the future, I'd never enjoy the present. That's part of why I agreed to join you on this date, actually. I just wish I was able to realize this sooner. Before the attack. The monarchy saved me by using their powers to heal me. I'll never waste the second chance they gave me. Never. I'll embrace it and savor every moment until the end.
We continue chatting and spending some time with one another. The events in the Rebel HQ definitely made him a changed man. And it was a good change too. He's seizing the day, as it were. When we return to Museo, I'd take him back to that fateful spot. But with me by his side, I think he'd be able to overcome his past. And when that happened, we'd build a new, happy future. Together. Yeah, we're gonna have many boyfriends and girlfriends when this is over. Damek's loyalty scene has been unlocked. Loyalty scenes will be unlocked at the end of Act 4. They can be initiated from the war table in the Rebel HQ. Cool. Again. That was all, so now we're gonna check out what Halin is up to. Oh, we already had the Halin. This is Halin 2. Huh. Okay. Let's go. While the bodies swayed on the dance floor, Halin and Shane did a dance of their own. Weapons clashing, they sparred. It was time for Halin to put his new apprentice to the test. So far, it seems that their skill was equally matched. A deadlock of the best variety.
You put up more of a fight than Sovi ever did. Where did you learn techniques like that, Shane? It almost feels like you're the teacher in this scenario.
You pick up a lot of stuff on the streets of Museo. Back when I was younger, it was either fight or die. A lot of the rebels are just like me, so get used to it.
Let me guess, you all banded together after the occupation. That means if I learn your weakness, I learn theirs. A weak strategy. All sharing the same fighting style?
Well, now I know why you wanted to spar so soon, and here I thought you might be warming up to me.
Don't flatter yourself, Shane.
Then stop giving me reasons to.
The weapons clash again, Halen's sword with Shane's daggers. He had no problem being Halen's match with such small weapons. His agility and quick thinking was more than enough to encounter raw strength.
I guess Sovi wasn't much of a fighter.
He used to be, but I could tell he always held back. There was doubt in his mind, and it clouded his judgment. I trusted it would go away, but you know what happened next.
Yeah, and he's paying for his mistakes. But you can trust me, Halen. I won't let you down. Remember what I did when we were in Mazeo.
You killed your former leader, your best friend. I don't need anything else from you, Shane. That proves your loyalty almost tenfold.
Good.
Fuck you. Shane sheathed his daggers, done with the sparring.
So what do you think Sovi will do next? I mean, he's no longer welcome in Balteus, right?
I saw him wandering the halls before he left. It's funny. He might actually try to seek out the blade. He was saying something about Alarinthia over and over.
What makes him think it'll be an Alarinthia?
Well, the rebellion will try its hardest to survive. After what we did, it makes sense that they'd flee the mainland. They can't come here, so the only other option is Alarinthia.
Makes sense when you put it that way. Maybe he can regain his honor after all. But I have to ask, why aren't we going?
The rebellion will come here eventually. We have the home advantage if we sit and wait. There's no way they can overpower our army.
You sure?
That's smart. So we're really doing this. We're going to end the rebellion.
You switch side really fast, Halen. Shane. I don't like it.
And any more that may come. I sense a bright future for us, Shane. And we'll do it all. For the Triumvirate.
Yeah, for the Triumvirate.
I hope that Shane is still on the rebel side and is doing this like fooling Halen that he's on his side, but I don't think so actually, really. Oh well, that was all in the ballroom, so we're going to the private quarters now. As soon as I get to my private quarters, I rest the blade beside the bed. It feels good to get that weight off my shoulders. Too bad the relief would be ephemeral. I sit down in the bed and think what would be coming in the next few days. A tournament to decide the fate of Alarinthia. An alliance to help us attack Balteus. Not even a day or two after the Colosseum battle, we'd be sailing into the final battle. Would we win? Or would we perish? The blade showed me nothing when I asked. I sit down on the bed and decide to try using the blade again. The anxiety of not being able to know almost wasn't worth it. It was supposed to do what I wanted. Was I not strong enough? The blade was so mysterious, I would probably never know. I lie down, having had enough of today's events. Things were crazy. Just when I think I get to relax, we're pushed into more conflict. But this conflict was clearly proven diverse among our team. Pro and Ulrich against each other, Vivian and Riku too. Perhaps this is a lesson that casualties are unavoidable. Okay, now I sleep. I close my eyes and hold on to a firm resolve in my heart. No, none of my comrades would die tomorrow. They'd survive. We were all survivors, and that's what we will continue to do. Forever. Instead of falling asleep, however, I find myself someplace familiar. Uh-oh! It's the same location I found myself after falling asleep in Peregrino. I had to be here for a purpose. All I knew was that this was the Triumvirate Chambers. There was no doubt in my mind. But why was I here? Not only once, but twice. There needed to be a reason. The blade weighs heavy on my back, and I slowly pull it out. I can sense that it's pulsating with energy, reacting to something. I notice the idol in the back of the chambers. That's what it is. But why was the blade reacting to something like that? It doesn't look like any spirit idols I've ever seen. What is it? I feel a strong pull, almost like I have no choice but to approach it. Click the idol to walk towards it. Is this like the triumvirate idol or something? I take slow, heavy steps toward the idol, and I feel eyes upon me. Not just one or two pairs, it's almost like all of Alestia is watching me. I can sense my comrades at my back, almost like if they are encouraging me. It helps me push forward, as I feel resistance emanate from the idol. Why would I feel such a strong pull towards something that doesn't want me? I push through, in spite of that resistance, and continue to act instinctually.
Yes, fulfill your purpose. Do what you were meant to do.
That's a triumvirate's voice. I remember it from the last time I was here. But I have no idea what they meant by my purpose. Still, I can't deny my instincts, and I keep pressing forward. It isn't much longer before I'm standing in front of the idol. It radiates pure malice and pure evil. It fills me with fright. I look down at my blade. Was I meant to destroy this? I'm confused to why I'm doing what the Triumvirate tells me to. It's that conflict that causes the dream to end and joins me awake. I rise up in fright, grabbing my chest and panting heavily. I look over at the blade resting on my bedside. What happened? It feels as if no time has passed at all, but it's already the next morning. Just what I needed. No rest before a massive battle. The fates were playing cruel tricks on me during this journey, but I had to keep going. I couldn't give in. It would be over soon. I stand up and strap the blade on my back. As if on a cue, I hear a knock at the back door. Before it's opened, Drakey steps in, not seeming to care if I was receptive of him.
It's your turn, Monarch.
My turn? My turn? Yeah.
We're transporting you to the Colosseum one by one. That way you're less inclined to try and escape us. You'll be the last one, so it's almost time to fight.
Uh-oh. I nod. It all makes sense.
I'd advise not wasting much time, but head to the Colosseum when you're ready. You'll be followed by myself and a few guards.
Ooh.
Oh, and good luck. You'll need it. The entire nation will be watching and
cool.
cheering. But whether it's for your victory or demise remains to be seen.
Okay. He rests his back against the wall and crosses his arms. This is really happening. A battle to decide the nation's fate. I guess I'd head to the Colosseum when I was ready to fight. Okay, well, oh, it's a book in here. Is it that one? A book rests on the nightstand. It appears to be about the Colosseum battles. Not regular ones though. The leadership ones. Jesus, it's dark now, I have to turn the lights on. There we go. The kind of battle I'd be fighting in today. I wonder if it was placed here on purpose. We did play into Draco's hand after all.
The evolution of tournaments. Initially, rulers of Alarinthia were decided during a simple one-on-one battle, but citizens quickly realized that this was not the best way to gauge a potential ruler's true strength. They needed to add more. This is when the champion system came into play. Each fighter would elect a champion to fight by their side. This would not only test their offensive powers, but show how they handle defensive maneuvers as well. They'd have to fight their enemy and their enemy's champion while also protecting themselves and their champion. This made battles much more fun. Later on, the reserve forces came into play. Each leader would bring a force of about 20 or 30 men into battle with them. This was to make sure they knew how to lead an army efficiently as well. What started out as simple fights to the death have evolved into a full-on sport. Leaders must display their ability to fight, to defend, and to command an army. This ensures that Alarinthia is always in the best possible hands. Only the most competent warriors can win.
That's actually a very thoughtful idea. If you want to go for like the strongest one, that's a good strategy. But we are going to change that. Can I look at my bed? I'd go back to bed if I weren't so hot in this room. Oh, and I guess we also have a tournament to fight in. Ooh, chairs. This looks comfortable, but unfortunately, I have no time to waste. I need to get to the Colosseum as soon as possible for the tournament. What about the view? Heat pours through the windows and make it almost unbreathable. It wasn't too bad last night, But now it's morning and I can feel the extreme heat. I'm glad that we won't be in this nation for much longer. I could never handle it. Okay, was that all? Yeah, then we are going to the Colosseum, but we will do that in the next episode. Oh my god, what will happen now? It's time for the Colosseum battle. And we really will have to fight Bro. I don't want to fight him. What do you think is gonna happen? Please don't spoil anything. But Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't and want to see more of my stuff. I have Patreon, I have Discord for anyone who's interested. I'm not gonna drag this out anymore, so I love you guys. And take care. Remember that you're loved and appreciated. And you should be proud of who you are. Because I want to see you in the next episode. Bye! Vitsi, please don't shoot me.